So you're interested in the Alienware x15, and well, I've already done a video on the x17 as well, so you can check that out. But anyways, you're here now because either you want a pretty quick answer on why you should or should not consider this laptop before spending more time researching, or you have watched multiple reviews on this laptop and just want to make sure you're not missing anything else before making that purchase. Well, welcome to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and here's 5 things you should know about the Alienware x15 before considering or buying. Okay, this will be a short video as I will only go through some pointers, specifically the difference between this and the x17. Starting with the size. Obviously it's a 15-inch smaller, but unlike the x17, this is rather light and thin laptop. It's still 2.5 kgs, which is on the heavier side for a 15-inch. But in the grand scheme of things, 2.4 kgs is portable enough. What amazes me is the fact that it's pretty much as thin as the MSI Stealth 15M, but you get nearly twice the performance spec-wise anyways. There are benchmarks, links in the description if you want to see, but there's no proper comparison between this and the Stealth 15M. You simply won't find any laptop thinner and more portable than this that can match its performance. That is enough of a reason to buy this laptop. However, obviously, being this thin, there are compromises to make. Well, the Alienware x15 does not get close to the x17 in terms of performance. The RTX 3060 is detuned from 130 watt to 90 watt, and both the RTX 3070 and RTX 3080 are detuned to 110 watts. What's more, the RTX 3080 is an 8GB variant, and in terms of CPU, you get the i9-11900H instead of the i9-11980HK. So all the compromises made for a thin gaming laptop. Sources and benchmarks and review links are in the description for all this, and unfortunately I can only do this with the specs for now, but if you don't forget to subscribe, it will improve my chances to bring you guys my own benchmarks and hands-on reviews to back the claims I make, instead of relying on other sources for images and footages as well. So hit that big red button before continuing. Now if you watched my video on the Asus ROG Zephyrus S17, you probably know where this is going, but it's not going there, because the 15-inch model can be given an exception considering just how thin it is. I mean, the portability advantage you gain from this and packing advantage, all that stuff, is a lot. However, there is no dual channel upgradability, thus you can't upgrade the RAM at all. So make sure you get the RAM capacity you want when you order it, because that's literally how much RAM you're gonna get for how long you use that laptop. Here's the thing, the reason why this video is short is because there's something I want to explain about this. With all those compromises and adaptations that the X15 makes, the Alienware x17 and the Alienware x15 are a lot more different than you think. The Alienware x17 is a much closer competitor to the likes of the MSI GE Raider series. Again, this was accidental, but because it's heavier and a little bit more powerful, it kind of matched, especially with the GE 76 17-inch version. The only advantage the x17 had is that it's thin and it has a flat design, so it's portable, well, more portable than the GE Raider anyways. The x15, however, is more closer to the MSI's GS Stealth series or the Razer blades, considering it has a lower spec GPU, less power hungry i9 CPU, and all the other cutbacks like Soldered RAM. You need to keep this in your mind when buying the x15 or the x17 for the matter. But this is probably the x15's biggest issue. Placing the x15 as a 15-inch flagship along with the 17-inch x17 meant obviously the x15 gets flagship pricing. However, the confused state of the x15 specs means, well, its closest competitors like the Razer Blade 15 and MSI GS66 Stealth undercuts it in terms of pricing by quite a margin. Clearly, some benchmarks need to be done to see whether it's worth it or not, but for now this is the case, just spec-wise. Now the RTX 3080 is fine as the Alienware gets the 8GB compared to the 16GB, but the Alienware goes up to 110 watts while the MSI is 95 watts. So realistically they will perform similarly and they're also about the same price, that's fine. But when the GPUs match, like identical specs, like the RTX 3070, the MSI is nearly $500 cheaper for the same specs with the exception of no G-Sync, and for the RTX 3060, the Razer Blade is nearly $200 cheaper for the exact same specs, and this time it gets G-Sync. Although honestly, the Razer Blade itself is slightly overpriced in terms of my opinion. So if you consider all that, you can see that the pricing is a bit iffy. I was probably a bit negative, but if you're willing to look over the price, you won't find any laptop thinner and more portable than this that can match its performance. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about this laptop. Well, hope I persuaded or dissuaded you from the Alienware x15. Again, depending upon your preferences. A hands-on review done by myself would be great, especially for the claims I make here, but with 113 subs, they ain't giving me a test piece. So boost the sub count if you're interested in this and want a hands-on version with benchmarks and stuff. Also tap the bell and I will be back.